Hello and good evening, and it's a late one tonight as I finished my 5th day of reviewing and 29 venues in. I am on my way to get my car, and I'm just come from Greenside and Infirmary Street and wandering up to Nicholson Square in order to liberate the car at the mosque. So, a good day. Some cracking stuff that I've seen today, which was nice. All of the things that I've seen today will get reviewed. A few things in amongst there which went a little bit wrong, but serendipity being what it is, there's something that was an unintended consequence. I got the time wrong in something which led to me missing it. So in typical Fringe tradition, Fringe Review says that if we miss something we should offer to pay for the ticket. So I've done so, but I can come back and review it next Wednesday. And the reason for me missing it is because in one day it's on at 11 and the other day it's on at 2, and it's a bit annoying. And the Traverse do this where I think they've got something like 9 plays and 8 spots, so it's on a sort of travelling programme, and every day is a different time, and it must be for the actors, for the performings, a pain in the backside. I certainly know for a reviewer it can be, because you don't know which day you're going. Now, because of that, I ended up with some time in my hands, and I managed to get to that free Fringe show, which was unbelievably good. At the Natural Food Cafe, a show about Vincent van Gogh, which is going to get a tremendous amount of plaudits from me, because I was astounded at the guy, and the way in which he did it was so innovative and so interesting, and got us to draw. And I drew my youngest daughter being at the Fringe with me the other day when it was raining, and her doing her best to try and work out 2-card Monty, and also part of a conversation I had with somebody I was at work with, who was telling me about a show. I'm going to run across here where they put this thing on stage which was like a flip chart, for no other reason than to establish the fact it was a school. So that came into my mind as well, I don't know why. But the freedom with which he became Vincent van Gogh was astounding, really astonishing, and I really, really loved it. So I'm back in the gardens in West Nicholson Square, West Nicholson, no, it's just Nicholson Square, heading towards the car. So the day kind of improved in a sense from that point onwards. But what I also saw just where I am just now, when I was waiting to go in and see a show at Greenside at Nicholson Square, was a group of Asian performers. Now they were Taiwanese or Korean or whatever, not from the Indian subcontinent but from an Oriental background, and they've got a show in there late at night, and it involves a lot of kids, and they were all outside in August in Edinburgh, full costume, getting ready. But also on top of that, the kids were running about, they were playing, they were mucking about and so on. And there was just a point at which I thought, I know that at any time their parents went, right, you, come on, they would immediately have that discipline. But for a moment, in the middle of August, in a foreign country, they were just kids, but they were in full costume, and it just for a second I got to smile a lot at just the innocence of it, but also the way in which people have come to this festival in order to get somewhere. And that has been something I've seen quite a lot today. There are some things that I've seen are not the best that I've seen. There are some things that I've seen today which will never get repeated, I'm quite sure. But in terms of developmental and stages and ways in which they want to grow as performers, there's been a lot of that today. Also, I saw a piece at Zoo Southside which was really, really good, and a guy who's lived a rock and roll lifetime, and I do have a back catalogue to go and look at. I also went to be part of performance, which last year they did something called Flight. This year they've got something else at the Fringe at Summerhall, where I lay in a darkened room in what was like a padded cell for half an hour, which was very different to my experience to Flight last year. I liked it a lot better this year. Also went to see something which was part of the LGBTQ contingent this year, over 50 apparently. Hashtag trans Fringe is what you need to do in order to find some of them. But 50 plus trans performers coming out to Edinburgh, which is just astonishing, absolutely astonishing, and also exceptionally good to see, because it shows a variety. And that's one of the things that I noticed when I was watching this particular show, that it was about having a variety of people who have a variety of voices, and no longer living within the stereotypical cliche that that's the gay voice, that's the lesbian voice, that's the trans voice. But now there is beginning to be the growth of a range of views, which is absolutely correct and absolutely right, and it was wonderful to be a part of that. So it's my second last day at the Fringe. The next time I post anything, it's going to be my last day, and on my last day I go for a kebab at night. It is a tradition that I have held on to because of the past, and I've done it every year apart from one, when I had to have a fish supper instead. It's so Scottish, because I had to go and get the train, and I don't know why it is more acceptable to get a fish supper with vinegar on a train than it is a kebab. But anyway, there's something filthy and decadent and late at night about a kebab, and that is going to be my tradition again this year. But also on top of that, I have to decide what is the last show that I'm going to go and see. Now, the first show I saw this year was a Sherlock Holmes piece, which was done by a school, if I remember. It was Putney High School, which I loved. I just adored it. I thought it was a fantastic piece of theatre, and said so. And that will stay with me. What will also stay with me is the final one, and I have to think very carefully about what it's going to be. I haven't chosen yet, I haven't decided, but it's an important part of when I walk away and I'm done. But in the meantime, I need to go and liberate my car, get in it and drive all the way back to Kirkintilloch. So until Wednesday the 21st, which is when I'll be back, it's bye for now.